What's up, everybody? I might have mentioned a little while back that I was planning on building a computer again, and I had gotten some parts. Well, I built it. I actually have made a few, like, of what you're watching right now, a couple of these before this, but I always ended up adding something different and just kind of wanted to wait till I was done. I mean, the only other thing that I have coming from Newegg is like a fan filter, which that's not a huge addition, so this is pretty much everything. Here's my last thing. It was a Blu-ray drive that essentially Machinima paid for. I got a more than I was expecting for my November payment, because they sent it to me like 2 months later. Like a week ago, I got a payment from my November, and it was enough to pay for a $25 Blu-ray drive. So I was like, that's nice. So that was my last edition here. The front blue LEDs are just blinding. Like, they're just extremely bright. I mean, I don't know, I wish they were a little bit darker than that, but it's not a big deal. Right now I'm actually let's see here. I'm ripping forward onto Dawn from the Blu-ray to see how it works, because the Power DVD software they gave me is refusing to activate, and I contacted support, but I'm too impatient right now, and I'm trying to find another way to play it for the time being. Because I had gotten, just as like a side gift for Christmas, Forward onto Dawn on Blu-ray, because I had the digital copy, but the quality is just terrible. And I thought it'd be nice to have with all the other Halo stuff that I have. But Blu-rays are definitely complicated things, and I've never done anything with Blu-rays or anything like that, so this is new to me. I also like the case badges that come with it. Makes it look kind of professional. But anyway, so I'll put in the description like what all the parts are and final cost. I believe it was right around $800. I saved hundreds upon hundreds on the case, the motherboard, and the video card. I bought them off Craigslist, and I mean, pretty much everything seems fine other than that. The guy didn't mention to me that one of the I think the USB port here is just completely broken. But I have like 16, 18 USB ports on this thing, mainly USB 3.0. My motherboard, the eVGA motherboard, came with two USB brackets, so I have two USB 2.0 and two USB 3.0 ports in addition to throw in the back. I threw the 3.0s in the back. If I need the other 2.0, I'll throw them as well. I have room, so that's nice. As you can see, just alone, it has its own kind of light display going on all the LEDs and other red LEDs. It's kind of hard to see. I'll take the side panel off in a second. This case is the older revision. It really isn't that big of a deal because it said KKN1 and they sell the KKN5 currently. The only thing I noticed that was different was there's a USB 3.0 bracket right here, but I have plenty. Something about the width was like a ½ inch smaller than this case, so they slimmed it down just a tiny bit. Aside from that, nothing changed. Well, I'm not really sure what the difference is buying the latest version of the case. It has a. I just wish I had more light down here. A 230 millimeter with a fan grill, 230 millimeter red, 140 right here, and then the only thing annoying is that when I take the side panel off, there's a side fan on there, like I said, so when you take it off, it's attached to the motherboard, so you gotta be careful not to rip it off. I don't have much room to... Well, officially it just came off. Whatever. I'm afraid to like break it or something, but okay, no big deal. So then I got the Thermaltake Frio. I've had it before. It has the capability of 2 fans, and it does come with 2. but this one fit, the other side didn't. The memory, there are 2 memory modules on each side here, so this one for some reason was a little bit farther enough, like, you know, this dropped in right behind it. You know, it kind of drops back. On this side, it was just enough to the right that it wouldn't work. So I'm not sure why that is. It's kind of weird that they don't space it evenly apart. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not. That wouldn't make any sense to me. But either way, I mean, if I can see it in here. Yeah, 14, 15. It has a debug light on it, so when it first starts up, it'll go through all the postcodes to show you where it is when it's booting. If it has a problem, it'll show you. And then once it finishes booting, it'll switch over to a CPU temperature monitor. So it's nice to get an accurate reading. So it stays at about, the lowest I've seen it was 13 Celsius. That's about 55 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's cold, idle. It may get up to 60 Celsius, which I think is like 140, 130, something like that. But I have it overclocked at 4.5 gigahertz. Pretty stable. So since I couldn't fit the fan up here, I put it down here. There's a bottom mount here. And then this fan here, I was going to give it to my neighbor and put it in his Xbox, but then I realized it was too big. So I put an 80 millimeter in mine, and I had a bunch of these laying around, and this is the only one left. And after I took it back, and I was just sitting there. I'm like, I already took it out of another case that I had, and then I'm just like, can I put it somewhere else in here just for kicks? I mean, what else can I do? So I wanted to mount it here because there's a fan here, and then I wanted to put it here to kind of bring air coming this way. I'm pretty positive this is intake. I might have to mess with that, but I wanted to bring air like this over the hard drive bay here. Just give it more airflow. Always make stuff better if possible, even if it doesn't need to be. Why not? So intake pushing this way. Of course, this has its own deal, and an intake on the bottom. It's raised up enough I can put my fingers underneath there. This also came with wheels too, so I can prop it up even more and have it roll around like a boss. I have intake, so it's going this way. Like that. Obviously my Blu-ray drive, the 230 on top. My X79 or HIS 6950. And then the cool thing too is this thing I believe has 2 BIOS, or yeah, because there's a little switch down here. In case one fails, you can switch it over to the other and then restore the other BIOS in case it becomes corrupted or some really bad stuff goes down. It has turn the light off on this. It has a power button and a reset switch built into the motherboard. And it has this little mood light down there. I'm not sure what that's all about. I'm not sure what it's covering. And then each PCI Express, that's what all the red lights are for, I believe. And same for the memory module slots, whatever. You can disable each one of those slots if it's having a problem. The toolless design is kind of meh. Like each one of those little clips, whatever, is supposed to like replace a screw, so you have to lift it up, pop the card in, slide it down, and snap it in. I just, just put screws there just because it's worthless. I mean, this holds all right. It's my USB 3.0 bracket there. But for any video cards, it's totally not worth it. But as for routing the cables and everything, I think I did a good job. There's not much more I can see to do. And if you look at it from here, I got my, I know technically I could have put it up there, but it was really strained, because running right from here to there and kind of pulling it and tugging on it, I thought it was a little bit too stressed. And it was sticking out a lot. I wanted it to be as low riding as possible, so I dropped it back there. This is nice because it's just a straight shot back. It's not pointed up, so it doesn't kind of like this is right here on the board. Same thing with the SATA ports. As people complained why they were direct, you know, actually, yeah, people were wondering why they were pointed out like that instead of sticking straight up. Again, it's so you can get right to the back. It's just a little less cabling to look at. Again, with that, there's some stuff I can't avoid. You know, there's cluster down here, but it's a modular power supply, so I don't have a ton of stuff back here. I only have what I need. And obviously, 2 for the graphics card. And maximum fan work. You know, even routing this, I switched up these 2 fans. You know, they were in opposite 4-pin areas, and I switched them. And then I have each one running along the bottom there, trying to hide it as best I can. So, honestly, it's a sweet case. Sweet computer build and everything. It's like if I were to turn the light off. Let's drop down a bit. See how bright that is? Like, it's just retardedly bright. I mean, it goes all the way back there. Like, all the way over there in the back of my basement. You can just, I mean, once your eyes adjust to it, you can see down here. Yeah. But, any more additions that I can think of that I would make is I might buy some more grills. Like, I might buy a 230 for up here. Just to, you know, kind of make stuff a little bit safer, so to speak, and maybe get a 140 for that. Just that if I'm ever working around in there, if it's on and I don't want to hit the fan blades, I would get one for that. But it's probably not going to fit with the, you know, just enough space for the fan. That doesn't need a fan grill, considering that, well, it's just in there by itself, and I might get one for this as well, considering it's, you know, same as that. I'm putting the fan grill in this. It's also going to be a dust filter as well. Anything that intakes, I'd kind of want to put a dust filter on it, from the outside at least. And then I might get some sound padding for like the inside of that. It's already not a loud case, maybe 20-25 decibels. You know, it's not bad, but if I wanted to rev up the fans a little bit, it'd be kind of nice to put some padding in there. Like there's some stuff I think on Frozen CPU. They have some actual dampening material that I could just line the case with. That, I mean, that'd make it even nicer. I mean, any way I could really make this case, you know, even more professional than in our, you know, I shouldn't say it is professional. I like to think it's professional. I think I've done a good job. But I'd like to get, you know, as professional as possible with it and make it just look legit, you know, really, really cool. Make it a saucy case. But anyway, I'm just trying to think of anything else I can mention about the computer. I mean, rambling off specs isn't going to be worth a whole lot. I mean, it'd be better in the description for those who actually understand what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, it has 2 Ethernet ports. I'm trying to think what else it has. Yeah, that's about it. In other ways, there's liquid cooling. There's a couple actual hole for that right here. Well, I got nothing else, honestly. Oh, well, little caddy there for the hard drive. You snap it in, roll it in. But it'd be kind of nice if there was like a PC board back there, and it had all the SATA ports on it, and you could just be like, put drive in, slide in, and then it snaps into the slot, and then behind the board are where you plug in all of your SATA cables, so that you could just hot swap. You know what I mean? Or you could just drop in base, snap it in. But there's nothing back there. I mean, I guess you probably could get something for it. You know, you could makeshift your own, or something to hold the SATA cables in place so that you could just push it in and just snap it in without having to open the backside over here, you know, and reroute cables and stuff like that. But honestly, I'm not going to be switching hard drives a whole lot. I guess the other thing I'm going to probably get is probably 2 or maybe 3 solid-state Corsair Force GTs, because Force GT, honestly, I've had, like, it's like the only brand or the only type of solid-state drive I see that's like the fastest, like has the highest read and write speeds. Everything else, like your read, like, you know, just reading a file is like 400 or 500 megabits per second, but the writing, like saving a file, is like 100, and it's just like, why would I even get a solid state? I might as well just, you know, get a decent standard hard drive. But the Corsair Force GT has like top read and write, and I had one on my laptop, and it was really a good drive. So I might get 2 or 3 of those and put them in a RAID 0, like, you know, the operating system is spread across each drive. It's going to be for the operating system, like Windows 8, and then I'll have a big drive or something like a standard hard drive for anything else that doesn't need to go fast. So, I mean, that's about it. I have enough RAM, enough video card. Cooling is best I can really do with it. You know, fit any more in this case. So, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the case. If you have any questions, just leave a comment or whatever if you're interested. Anyway, peace out, guys. Thanks for watching.